What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. Today's video is all about the Six Nations, which is taking place so very soon. The 1st of February it kicks off with France versus Wales, and then it just continues from there. And what a tournament we have in store for us. In my personal opinion, this is the second best tournament of 2019, just from a competitive level, from a curiosity level, from an intensity level, from what we're going to see from the northern teams. We saw last year that they were showing up, they were proving a point, they were showing improvement, they were showing dominance, and it's going to be very interesting to see how they continue in 2019. Now, a lot of people are saying, can Ireland hold on to what they built in 2018? Can England recover from where they were from the start of 2018, which was a shocking year, ending 5th in the Six Nations log, to coming into 2019 with a different attitude, with a different set plan? Eddie Jones will be wanting to show the English public that he is here to stay and prove a point in this year's World Cup. We have Wales with Warren Gatland. I mean, he's really done well with Wales this past year in 2018. They went to another level. The year before that, in 2017, Wales weren't there. They had a lot of injuries. They weren't in the greatest mindset, but they just got better and better and showed the potential and the delivery in what they had to offer, and deservedly became second on the log of the Six Nations. I mean, Scarlets did very well for Wales as well. So it just shows the improvement that they have been given. Scotland, another force to be reckoned with, because they just show their level of improvement. I mean, Townsend has done a great job with Scotland of how they've developed and improved and come into this tournament with a competitive level, and they're a threat. Not everyone will think, I mean, in the old days it would always be Italy and Scotland playing for the wooden spoon. The rest would all destroy them or beat them. But now Scotland are at a level where they're competitive. They beat England last year. They are there to show, they are there to scare. And you can never write the Scots off, because they've got a lot of talent within that squad. I mean, Jones, I mean Laidlaw, there's so much experience within that player. Russell, it's just, there's a squad of talent that are looking to prove a point. France, also a team that just hasn't been in the greatest mindset or form, but yet they are always a threat. You can never write the French off. They showed some positives, but they also didn't have the greatest of years last year. But they'll be wanting to look at forgetting about 2018 and focusing on 2019, being a threat, being a team that are here to show why they are a force to be reckoned with. No team wants to be written off. No team wants to be the underdog. They want to show that they are improving, and I'm sure their coach and squad are going to want to prove a point. Again, so much great talent within that French squad, and so many players to look out for who will also be wanting to prove a point. You could see the disappointment when they lost to South Africa. You could see the disappointment when they got whitewashed by New Zealand. But there were positives. There were moments of skill. And those skill levels need to be doubled, increased, so that they can become competitive in this year's Six Nations. Italy, unfortunately, are the wooden spoon of the group. But again, they're a team you can't quite write off. They have their moments. They have also great players within their squad. But unfortunately, with them and their history, you can't quite say they're a threat. Look, they might shock us. They might beat Scotland. They might come close. But I just don't see them being at a competitive level in the Six Nations. But who knows? We have seen them beat South Africa. We have seen them shock countries. So it's important for us to note those points as we go into the Six Nations. No one can be... We can't predict everything. Anyone's vulnerable at a certain time. We just don't know when. Now, the question everyone's asking this year, are we going to see another Grand Slam? Personally, I don't think so. As much as it was amazing and incredible to watch Ireland achieve so much that they did in 2018, I just think this year's caliber of competitiveness within the Six Nations is going to be a little bit too intense. I mean, the first game up, the big one of the weekend for the first week of the Six Nations, England versus Ireland. I mean, hello, that is going to be such an epic game to watch. Yes, Ireland have the favour there at home, but you can never write off the English. And that's an important thing for us to remember. And yes, again, they were weak in 2018 at the start, but they were improving towards the end of the year. And if they continue to improve and show development, Eddie Jones will have a few tricks up his sleeve in order to capitalise on what Joe Schmidt has done, use some of the tactics, maybe create their own game plans and all that stuff in order to be a little bit different, to shock the Irish, to shock the Scottish, to shock the Welsh, to shock the French, to shock the Italians. So I personally think it's going to be dead. Who will lose, where we'll lose, we'll save that to the predictions. But for me, I personally don't see a Grand Slam coming this year. It's going to be intense. Look, if Ireland dominate the English in that first game, who knows, maybe we will. But I just think the Welsh are there to play. I think the English are there to play. You can never write off the Scots. And personally, I just don't think we can write off the French either, because they're unpredictable at home. Let's not forget, guys, that first game last year, Ireland only won by a final moment of genius by Johnny Sexton that got them that victory. So we must also remember all these little strategies in place. That pressure could go on in this first game. First game of the Six Nations, the second biggest tournament, is always intense. So for them, they need to really think deep, think hard, keep calm. Ireland can do it. Of course they can do it. They did it last year. They just came off a fantastic victory against the All Blacks. Can they do it in this year's Six Nations? We'll have to wait and see. But I just don't think we will have a Grand Slam. But I'm open to correction. We've seen amazing things happen in the world of rugby, but I just think this year it's going to be on a different competitive level, and all teams are going to be fighting. All teams are going to be proving a point. Let's not forget, you'll be being clever with your rugby players so you don't create injuries, but you'll also be being smart because you want to use every aspect of skill play you have as well in order to build. And also remember, the youngsters, the older players are going to be wanting to give it their absolute all to put their hands up for this Rugby World Cup. England players, Irish players, Scottish players, Welsh, French, Italian, all these teams are going to be wanting to put their hands up and are going to be wanting to take it to the next level. If we have to predict, it will be interesting to see what you guys will say, and if you think there's going to be a Grand Slam. In fact, that's the question today. Do you think there will be a Grand Slam this year? I personally don't. I think it's going to be a bit more competitive. The Irish fans might think, yes, there will be another one. The English might think, no, they might clean sweep it, or they might win. It's anyone's ball game, but it's going to be so competitive, I think, and the intensity in this tournament is going to be epic because everyone's going to be wanting to prove a point. Everyone's going to be wanting to put a hand up. Now, the next video, I'm going to analyze players that I'll be looking out for and who I'll be watching, as well as Six Nations and then the build up to the World Cup and where they will take their country. And I'll be analysing a certain bunch of players from each country as we move on in this tournament. So make sure you are subscribed. Let your friends and family know, because we're going to be covering every aspect of the Six Nations. It's not going to be like last year where I'm going to do one video for the first week. I'm going to be predicting every game and then recapping every game afterwards, so we can get a full-on analysis of this. This tournament is very close to me because it helped develop this channel. It grew Walking Torture Man to the next level with the help of obviously the championship, but I gained a massive amount of UK and Irish followers, and I hope to double that this year so we can grow, so we're ready for the World Cup, because I really want this channel to be there as a fantastic supporters channel as we go forward. So this year's Six Nations is going to be absolutely epic. I cannot wait to see what the coaches, especially Joe, Gatlin and Eddie, have in store for us, as well as Townsend, the French coach and the Italian coach, just because they can also have a few tricks up their sleeve in order to see what we can predict in this year's Six Nations. Again, Scotland can never count them out. In fact, any team here you can never count out, because they are wanting to prove a point, and that's what's going to make this tournament that much more special, that much more epic. And I cannot wait to see what happens. Will Johnny Sexton be the star, or will it be Owen Farrell? Will Owen Farrell bring in the Farrell tackle? Will we see the Laidlaw show his brilliance and skill, or will the Welsh rugby team take on? Everyone's talking about Gareth Askin. I mean, that's another player who's been up and down, but people are talking about him again, because again he'll be wanting to put his hand up in the Rugby World Cup. So much to watch, but I'll save the players for the next video, which will come out this week as well. So make sure you are subscribed so you can keep up to date with all future uploads. And answer the question, will there be a Grand Slam this year? Yes or no? Maybe. I don't know, but I just think it's going to be a little bit more intense this year, because it's World Cup here. But it's going to be the tournament of the youngsters and the tournament of the old boys, showing and proving a point, putting their hand up for the Rugby World Cup. It's going to be absolutely insane, and I can't wait. I am honestly so excited. Again, if you're wondering why I'm wearing an Irish jersey, Ireland subscribers are my #1 subscribers. So the country with the most subscribers for on my channel is Ireland. So I wanted to treat myself to an Irish jersey. I'm going to try and build up, but these things are expensive, especially from South Africa. I mean, sometimes they might be 80 or 60 quid for you. Times that by 14, it's pretty much for I want to build this brand of creating clothes. So one day when I have a pub, and I want all the jerseys from various countries that I've spoken about or represented it. But Ireland, because they're my #1 subscribers, I have Irish blood in me, so it's only fitting as well. I want a Scottish jersey too, very badly, because my dad was born there, so I want to start collecting slowly but surely. But yeah, that's going to do it for today's video, guys. Just a little build-up preview to the Six Nations, showing my thoughts and excitement for this tournament, especially focusing on Grand Slam. Will there be one, yes or no? But stay tuned, subscribe, because the players, my top players that I'm going to be watching out from every team, is coming up. So make sure you are subscribed for that. You're not going to want to miss it. Let the world know G-Man is doing it all, especially in the Six Nations. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, as well as, very important, hit the bell notification so you can be notified for every single video. My dog barked in agreement, so make sure you do that. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Stay safe, never give up, and remember, you're one of a kind. Cheers.